Have you ever felt like you're stuck in a cosmic waiting room? You've prayed, you've believed, you've done everything you know to do, and yet, silence. The promotion you were hoping for, the relationship you've been praying about, the healing you so desperately need, it all feels like it's on hold. It's in these seasons of waiting, in the long, quiet hallways of life, that our faith is truly tested. We start to wonder, God, did you hear me? Did you forget about me? If that's you today, I want to share something that I hope will anchor your heart. God is working while you are waiting. Your waiting season is not a season of divine inactivity. It's a season of divine preparation. Think about it like this. When you plant a seed, you don't see the growth immediately. For days, weeks, sometimes months, it looks like nothing is happening. The ground is still. But underneath the surface, a miracle is unfolding. Roots are digging deep, a sprout is fighting its way upward, and life is preparing to break through. Your life is that seed. Just because you can't see the progress doesn't mean it isn't happening. God is working in the unseen, establishing roots in your character, strengthening your faith, and preparing the soil of your future. The Bible is filled with stories of people who had to wait. Abraham and Sarah waited 25 years for their promised son, Isaac. Joseph waited 13 years, going from a pit to a prison, before he saw the fulfillment of his dream. David was anointed king as a teenager, but didn't take the throne until he was 30. For years he was on the run, hiding in caves, waiting. Were these years wasted? Absolutely not. During their waiting, God was shaping them. Abraham learned unwavering faith. Joseph developed integrity and forgiveness. David cultivated a heart after God's own, writing psalms in the wilderness that would comfort millions for millennia to come. The delay was not a denial. It was a necessary part of their development. The waiting was the workshop where God forged them into the leaders they were called to be. One of my favorite verses is Habakkuk 2:3, which says, "For the vision is yet for an appointed time, but at the end it will speak and it will not lie. Though it tarries, wait for it, because it will surely come, it will not tarry." Notice that word, appointed time. God operates on a divine schedule, not our frantic one. He has an appointed time for your breakthrough, an appointed time for your healing, an appointed time for your promise to be fulfilled. His timing is perfect, designed to bring about the greatest good. So often, we want the microwave miracle. We want it fast. We want it now. But God is a master chef, and some things are best slow cooked. He's adding ingredients to your life: patience, resilience, humility, deeper trust that can only be developed over time. If He gave you the promise prematurely, you might not be ready to handle it. The promotion might crush you with its responsibility. The relationship might fail because your character isn't ready. The dream might be too big for your current capacity. The waiting purifies our motives. It forces us to ask, do I want the promise more than I want the promise giver? It shifts our focus from the gift to the giver himself. In the stillness, when all the noise of our striving fades away, we can finally hear His gentle whisper, reminding us that His presence is the greatest prize. The waiting room becomes a sanctuary where our relationship with Him deepens in ways it never could in the rush of instant gratification. Let's look at Romans 8:28, a verse many of us know well. "And we know that in all things God works for the good of those who love Him, who have been called according to His purpose." It doesn't say some things. It says all things. That includes the waiting. That includes the silence. That includes the delay. Even the frustrating, confusing, and painful parts of your journey are being woven together by a master weaver into a beautiful tapestry for your good and his glory. From our perspective, the threads might look tangled and chaotic. We see the knots, the messy backside of the canvas. But God sees the finished masterpiece. He is intentionally, meticulously working every single detail, every tear, every prayer, every moment of surrender into something magnificent. Imagine a caterpillar in a chrysalis. To an outsider, it looks dead, dormant. Nothing is happening. But inside that dark, confined space, the most radical transformation is taking place. The caterpillar is literally dissolving and being reformed into something entirely new, something with wings. If you were to help it by cutting the chrysalis open too soon, the butterfly would be weak and unable to fly. The struggle to emerge is what strengthens its wings for flight. Your waiting is your chrysalis. The pressure, the confinement, the struggle. It's not meant to destroy you, it's meant to transform you. God is giving you wings. He is preparing you to soar into the purpose He has for you. Don't despise the process. Don't try to rush God's timing. Trust that the struggle is building strength you will need for where you are going. So, what do we do while we wait? We don't just sit passively. We wait with active faith. We continue to pray, not with desperation, but with confident expectation. We continue to worship, not because we feel like it, but because He is worthy regardless of our circumstances. We continue to be faithful in the small things, right where we are. Joseph was faithful in Potiphar's house. He was faithful in prison. His character shone brightly in the waiting, and that's what prepared him for the palace. Serve others. Open your Bible. Join a community that will encourage you. Fill your waiting season with purpose. Don't put your life on hold waiting for the next big thing. Live fully right now in this moment, trusting that God is orchestrating everything behind the scenes. If you're in a waiting season today, be encouraged. Delay is not denial. Silence is not absence. God is with you, and He is working. He is aligning circumstances you can't see, preparing people you haven't met, and developing a strength in you that you didn't know you had. The roots are going deep. The wings are being formed. Hold on. Your appointed time is coming. It will be more beautiful and more perfect than you could ever imagine, because it was prepared by the hand of a loving God who is working all things together for your good. Have you ever felt like your faith is just too small? Like you're looking at a mountain of problems? A difficult diagnosis, a struggling relationship, a financial crisis, and all you have is this tiny, almost invisible speck of belief? You pray, you try to trust, but that voice of doubt just keeps whispering, "It's not enough. You're not strong enough." If that's you, I want you to know you're not alone. And more importantly, I have some incredibly good news for you today. We often get this idea that to see God move in mighty ways, we need to have this giant, unwavering, superhero-level faith. We look at the heroes in the Bible like Abraham or David and think we need to measure up to their spiritual stature before God will even listen. But what if I told you that's not how it works at all? What if the focus isn't on the size of our faith, but on the size of our God? In the book of Matthew, chapter 17, the disciples run into a situation they can't handle. A man brings them his son who is suffering terribly, and they are powerless to help. They've tried everything, but nothing works. They're frustrated, embarrassed, and their faith is probably feeling pretty small right about then. So they go to Jesus. And what does He do? He heals the boy instantly. Later, when the disciples pull Jesus aside and ask, "Why couldn't we do it?" He gives them one of the most powerful and encouraging responses in all of Scripture. He says, because of your little faith. For truly, I say to you, if you have faith like a grain of mustard seed, you will say to this mountain, 'Move from here to there,' and it will move, and nothing will be impossible for you." Now, let's pause and really think about that. A mustard seed. Have you ever seen one? It's tiny. It's one of the smallest seeds they would have been familiar with. You could hold a dozen of them on your fingertip. Jesus isn't scolding them for having little faith in a way that shames them. He's actually redefining what little means. He's saying, you don't need a mountain of faith to move a mountain of problems. You just need a tiny, living seed of faith. This changes everything, doesn't it? The pressure is off. It's not about how much faith you can muster up through sheer willpower. It's not about feeling strong or confident or spiritually big. It's about where you place that tiny, fragile, mustard seed-sized faith. A mustard seed on its own can't do anything. It has no power in itself. But when you plant it in good soil, it connects to a source of life and power far greater than itself. And from that tiny beginning, a huge plant can grow. A plant so large that birds can come and nest in its branches. Your faith is the seed. God is the soil. Your job isn't to be the oak tree. Your job is to be the seed that trusts the soil. Your job is to take that tiny bit of belief you have, that whisper of maybe God can, that fragile hope that He might see me, and place it in the hands of the all-powerful, all-loving Creator of the universe. Think about it this way. Does a tiny key struggle to open a massive, heavy door? No. The key doesn't have to be as big or strong as the door. It just has to be the right key, placed in the right lock. Your faith, no matter how small it feels, is the key. God's power is the mechanism that swings the door wide open. The power isn't in the key, it's in the one who designed the lock. So often we get it backward. We stare at our mountain, the debt, the illness, the fear, and then we look at our tiny speck of faith and we feel defeated. We're comparing the wrong things. God is inviting us to stop looking at the size of our mountain and start looking at the size of our God, the God who spoke galaxies into existence, the God who parted the Red Sea, the God who conquered death itself. Is any mountain too big for Him? When you feel weak, that's actually the perfect place to be. Because when you're weak, you're not relying on your own strength. When your faith feels inadequate, you're not trusting in your own ability to believe. You are forced to look outside of yourself to a source that is infinitely strong and completely adequate. The Apostle Paul understood this. He said, "When I am weak, then I am strong," because it was in his weakness that God's power was made perfect. Maybe today, all you can manage is a prayer that feels more like a sigh. Maybe your faith is just a desperate, trembling, "God, help." That is enough. That is your mustard seed. Take that fragile trust and plant it. Say, "God, I don't feel strong. My faith feels microscopic, but I'm giving this tiny seed to you. I'm placing my trust not in my ability to believe, but in your ability to act. This mountain is too big for me, but it is not too big for you." The miracle is not in the size of your faith. The miracle is in the object of your faith. It's not about having great faith in God, it's about having faith in a great God. He's not waiting for you to become a spiritual giant. He's waiting to take your small, offered trust and do the impossible with it. He loves to show His immense power through our perceived weakness, so that in the end, He gets all the glory. So the next time you feel that your faith is just too small, remember the mustard seed. Remember that it's not about your strength, but His. Take that tiny seed, offer it to Him, and watch what the God of mountains can do. He is bigger than your doubts. stronger than your fears, and more than capable of moving whatever stands in your way. Thank you so much for spending this time with me today. I hope this was an encouragement to you. If it was, please give this video a like and consider subscribing to the channel for more content like this. We'd love to have you as part of our community. God bless.